Hi, this is Mr. Brutally Honest, or you can call me Mr. Morningstar, whichever one seems to fit your opinion of me. This is my advice to school systems to help better, and, and stop bullshit like school shootings to going on. One, you need to pay attention more to the sports systems because honestly, I've noticed this when I was in school, and that was only back in 2009, that football players get away with murder. Heck, even basketball players, whatever sport is popular in that state, they get away with murder because they do well in sports. Not school, sports. But you don't go to school to go for sports. You go to school because you need to learn. First off, if the sports person says, "I feel it in my ass," they get a, or they say a curse word, they don't get suspended from school. A normal kid says "fuck you," or just says "piss off." The school will let them get away with it. We'll let them get in trouble, or we'll let them get away with it, and they don't get in trouble. Or no, they will get in trouble. They will get in trouble. If the kid's not in a sport, they can't get away with nothing. You play football or whatever, you get away with murder. That's what happened. That's when kids do bad things. That's when shootings happen. Because you let a bully, which most likely any kid in sports has bullied someone or another at one time, especially if he's a popular athlete or one that's or has a rich papa that you're trying to butter up. Come on, you're a public school. There's no one to butter up there. Two, you need to get rid of them. The policy where students can wear what they want to school as long as they follow your directions. One, you should get rid of that. Wear what they want. No, make them wear uniforms 24/7. Make them have everything down from the same socks to the same damn shoes. You know, and no differences. They want to wear something different, and you know that's a no no. Two, don't allow the kids to wear their sports gear out of sports or things that have to do with their clubs. Three, stop punishing the smart kid who's finally had enough when the bullies get too bad, because they're not just sports bullies, there's other bullies, they just don't get noticed. He's finally had enough and finally hits the fucking kid. Yes, excuse my language. But yeah, when he finally hits the kid, and this kid's had nothing wrong in his life. He's never caused any problems. He's best, smartest kid in your school, has the best record. I think if the kid has the best record and he finally has had enough and hit someone, you should give him another chance. Don't fucking get the cop involved. Don't, punish him. Because 9 times out of 10, that kid was bullied and you guys did nothing about it. Yeah. Two, if your school system has a bus system, yeah, you need to have a teacher on every one of those buses, and not a corrupt teacher. Basically, the most straight-laced teacher that won't tolerate an F bomb or an F this so much that they'll suspend the kid for it. That's the kind of teacher you need to ride along on these school buses. I'll tell you right now, when I was in school, there was a lot of bullying on certain buses. And if the buses had one problem, they've had more. They've had way more than you know. I mean, come on. I'm not above this. No, no. I partially committed to some of the problems that were going on in my school, And to this day, I still regret it. That said, yeah, there's a lot of rude things that are said on buses, especially bad ones. So you need to do something to help fix, the bullying problem on buses, because that's where a lot of the bullying goes on. It ain't on the bus. It's on, it's on another bus. Like, I was on the sports team. Heck, um, I did some bullying, and I'm not proud of it. I've made a lifelong enemy because of that. You know, kid, comes and starts being rude to me, and I had a right to do what I did, but I mean, technically, he assaulted me, but still, like, what ended up happening was I was on a football bus coming back from a game. He kept on pushing my arm. I said, push my arm one more time, do it again. And I know there was a teacher on there. Yeah, there was a teacher slash coach. He pushed my arm again. You know what I did? I hit him twice. He had a lump on his fucking head. I still feel bad about that. Yeah, I didn't want him touching me. But he got mad at me, and he's mad at me still to this day, which I do. If he is watching this video, I do apologize for that. I mean, hands-on should never be an option, and just to let you know, I'm pretty much a pacifist this day and age. So I really regret everything I did then. 2, it was loud enough that it could have easily have been stopped had the coach said, okay, you need to stop leaning on the back of his seat, your head, and you need to stop touching him. My arm was not touching him. He just wanted to push my arm off because he wanted to be a dick. I understand we had a hard game. We never got any playing time, him and me. And yeah. Now, another thing you need to do. I hate to say it, but each school needs cameras on all halls. Like Marshall County, yeah, they need to install cameras everywhere. When I was in school, I was on one hall, which they had, made it look like there was a camera there. But when something got stolen, yeah, there was no camera. Literally no camera. Also, I'm going to point this out. Teachers, when a student threatens to hurt someone, even though you know it, you may just being a kid being a kid, you need to take that more seriously. I had a jerk that used to call me bastard and act like he was calling his friend that, and some stupid ass teacher bought that bullshit. I don't know how he got away with it considering he was a poor kid, but he did. Yeah. He would call me bastard, and get this, he stole my iPod, traded to another fat kid. Yeah, he was fat. Yeah. The kid that he traded to was even fatter. And he knew it was mine. He pretended like he didn't have it. I could have taken it back. I didn't want it. At that point, I had already gotten on something a lot better. 2, the kid was a thief. His name was Brandon Davis. I gave him my iPod. He stole my other iPod. I gave him an iPod Nano. Classic, a classic iPod Nano with the string, 120 songs to be stored on it. He decides, okay, I'm going to steal his other iPod. Then trade it to one of my friends for something I want. Yeah. He was a thief. Also, hate to say this, but I think schools need to step up their game for dealing with drugs. 2, if you're I think they need to step it up so much that they need to check Sharpies, highlighters, and things like that. My brother, when he was in high school, He hid his cigarettes and his fucking Sharpies so teachers wouldn't find them. Yeah, tear out the inside the ink holding thing in the Sharpie and put his cigarette in there. 2, I think you should make all students who are in school, when they go into the classroom, they are obligated to give up any and all electronics they have on them. So if they have a cell phone, make them put it in the basket. It's not hard. They can get a basket and have them put them in it. Instead of confiscating these phones and letting them be a distraction while they're, in their pocket, 2, my brother was so intelligent. I'm sure he's not the first one to come up with this. But you need to actually, if you don't want to do my first option, which I recommend, if there's a kid that has, say he's texting in class, gives you his cell phone, he'll probably put a SIM card in that cell phone. It's not a working one, but it's enough to turn the sucker on and make you think it's the real thing. So when you get said cell phone, pat him down and check to make sure you don't have another one. Because that's how my brother would text in class. And I know he's not the only kid to think of this. Now, on with that. You need to be harsher with the kids who cheat during sports. Like, if they can't pass the physical because they're taking so much testosterone pills. Yeah. I had a friend that did that. I also know he had ED in high school. His name was Jake Denton. I'm gonna point his name out. I don't care if he fucking mad at hell at me. His best friend Hageman told me. Well, if you are dumb enough to mess up your body and give it testosterone pills to compensate for what you lack physically, or use steroids or whatever, yeah, you should not be allowed to join a sports team ever again after that. You should be kicked off the team and failed permanently. If you don't pass a drug test and you were in sports, you fail automatically. You can never join again. That's the policy you need to do. Now, if you want to deal with a bullying problem, most kids aren't going to report it. They're going to deal with it with themselves. 1, if the kid's getting beat so bad, getting beat up by someone stronger than him so bad that he attacks or, gets fed up and fights back, you should take the kid, especially if the kid has a non-history of violence and then this happens, usually it's not the kid's fault. And you need to actually question the kid. And then once he comes through, expel the kid who made him do it. Kids are not rational. No child from the age of 5 till the age of 18, 19 is a rational, functioning adult. Yes, they may be considered at 18, 19 rational adult, but if you're surrounded by pure immaturity, that's only going to make things worse because you're going to act immature. People have a herd mentality, which means they'll gawk and flock, laugh, do the same thing, and follow the worst of examples. Kids are brutal and mean to each other just because they're immature. I mean, shoot. I didn't gain half the stuff I gained and maturity from any of that stuff I did in school. Honestly, I was a complete asshole, and I admit that. 3, depending on how bad and what's said about the kid should determine a punishment suitable. If the kid's bullying, you need to come up. If another kid's being bullied, you need to come up with a better punishment to deal with it. If expulsion's not an option, there's alternative methods. Heck, there's ways to get back at bullies which will actually make which you can use the same method they use to shame them. Not exactly a bullying method, but heck. Make them wear a billboard over them, like with two strings, and make them stand at lunch in front of everyone, telling what they did, why they bullied, so everyone can say, "Oh, shame on you," The kid, if that shit gets out, yeah, if the kid retaliates after that, that's when you expel him. Because if he's still bothering the same kid or same ethnic group, that needs to happen. Now, finally, teachers, on the other hand, I think you should video camera what goes on in the classroom with sound. Yes, have something videotaped. It's better to have a taped background because 9 times out of 10, if the kid hates his teacher, there's a good reason for it. 9, never offer tenure. If they have tenure, they don't care. The teachers can do whatever they want, be as rude as they want, and they don't get in trouble for it because you can't fire them. Never offer tenure. Tenure should be banned from school districts. Also, the other thing I'm going to complain about is pay attention to teachers more. Stop putting so much money in the sports team that you can the sport team has too much money. Give them the amount that they budget, the amount they get. Even if they're a winning team, budget it. They should get a certain amount from the school each year, and it should not exceed a certain amount. And yeah, if the team ain't winning, budget it and stop giving them special privileges. And definitely stop giving them special privileges. I mean, come on. I had coaches in high school that when we were working out in the football thing, if you asked them for a pinch of dip, they'd likely give it to you. Yeah. Also, when you say there's no alcohol or tobacco on campus, yeah. If a kid has a wallet, check behind the wallet. Usually there's a dip can there. Also, I hate to say it, but there are underwear for women that hide cigarettes. You might want to have a female teacher do, a search. Metal detectors, schools, every school should have it. None shouldn't. 2, yeah. If there's definitely don't allow things like, classes like welding or, say, anything that deals with metal. Like, I'm sorry, you don't need auto body. You don't need those extracurricular ones. Those are the ones where kids can make dangerous stuff. I've known kids in school make shanks just because I came up with the idea using a grinding thing. Yes, they made an actual knife in my welding class. Not lying. And anyone who has access to these can do that. They want to learn auto body? Let them apply for it and learn it at fucking Nashville Auto Diesel College. Where if they do something stupid, they get expelled and lose all their money. So it makes them learn a hard lesson. 5. I hate to say it. Schools, you need to step up your game. You can step up math all you want. But if the kid's smart like me and memorizes the history books, yeah, history don't change. Teach it one semester in one school and never teach it again. They don't need to learn this same crap over and over again. I memorized all the textbooks because when I was in middle school, I basically finished my work and slept all damn day practically in school because I already knew the answers. Also, stop getting on kids' case, especially if they're highly intelligent like I was. Stop getting on their case they don't show their work. 9 times out of 10, they can probably do calculus in their head. Now, if you want to punish a kid and you know he gets suspended a lot, 9 times out of 10, he's getting suspended because he hates going to your school. So suspending him is not the answer. After school detention plus staying in school is 9 times 9 times out of 10 more effective. If he's getting suspended or even doing absences all the time, you're not doing him a favor. He's basically doing whatever he wants to not be there. And if he's doing that, likely there's a problem with either your education or most likely bullying. So, next time he comes, sit him down in the counselor's office and say, hey, what's your problem? Why don't you like coming to school? What can we do better to help facilitate you? Because throwing him in special ed or, you know, giving him summer school ain't going to do crap. He won't care. You know, if he wants to get out of school and not have to go to school, he'll do whatever he can to do it. So, when he tells you, and 9 times out of 10, he's like, should I even bother telling him? Because if nothing happened, you know. So actually do something to make some changes, you dumbass school systems. 9, if a teacher hasn't had a raise in 10 years, give her one. She fucking deserves it, or her, or him. Now, I'm going to say this straight up. If you're playing on a sports team, if you have people running a sports team and they're picking on the one black kid or one ethnic kid that is on the team during practice, even if it's in a joking manner, suspend his ass. 9 times out of 10, he's doing something way worse behind your thing, and it helps to have an anti-racist, anti-bullying, no policy thing. Also, if the kid runs through the damn school on Halloween in a Ku Klux Klan outfit or something other crazy like that, kick him out. The kid's pretending to be Hitler for Halloween. Kick him out. He don't need to be there. He's not there to learn. Expel his ass. Now, this is for the ignorant teachers on tenure. I hope they fucking phase you out so it never happens again, because tenure, even if it's a guarantee, power goes to everyone's head. So if you have too much power to where even the principal and superintendent can't do shit about you, you're likely a garbage person, like the person working in, biology in Marshall County High School. So yeah, phase assholes like that out. I don't care how good they are. If you can find a younger teacher that'll teach the kids and not tolerate bad stuff and not do bad stuff himself, then you got a good teacher there. 9, if the kids' grades are failing, usually that means they don't like the teacher, which means he's a complete jerk, or they're just not sitting well with them. Offer more classes. Yes, more of the same class, just with a different teacher. Because a kid, even a girl, will learn faster if they're not having a negative experience in class. Yeah. So find out who they like. If the teacher's well liked, usually they're doing pretty good. Okay. That's all I gotta say. Peace, love, and happiness. Hope the school systems take my advice. They need to do this crap. And I must preach more about what needs to change in society. You know, things need to change. If you want a better world, The first one that can do it is the one in power. So, if you ain't helping this world, you're only contributing to its evil. Don't contribute to it. Peace, love, and good night. This is Mr. Brutal Honesty, or you can call me Mr. Morningstar. Either one. And yeah, peace out. Love. Love all of humanity. Goodbye.